some pain and suffering in our road. Yes, we get some problems and situations. But why in the world do we feel like we got to give up and let the foundation fall in when everything around us is not going our way? God said, I'm trying to seal up the cracks in your life, but the thing is, you got to take some time and be patient and realize what those cracks are. A lot of people don't like the truth because when you tell them the truth, that means they have to make a change because they know they're not doing right. A lot of people don't like to talk about sin and doing right and living holy, living righteous. A lot of people don't like to preach on that anymore. Why? Because they feel like the modern age does not need to hear that because they're going to feel judged. No, what they're going to feel is convicted. The thing is, we have to stop sitting here letting this modern age turn us into people that we're not. If we say that we're going to live holy, then we got to live holy. If we say we're going to be saved, we got to live the saved life. This is a lifestyle. And if you got cracks in your life, go to God in prayer and say, Lord, seal up these cracks in my life because, Lord, I don't know if I can take this any longer. Lord, this foundation is doing some crazy things. Lord, I don't know what's going on. Lord, this is crazy. Lord, people at my job getting on my nerves. Lord, people in my house getting on my nerves. People around me are getting on my nerves. Lord, help me to seal up these cracks because, Lord, I know the old me. But Lord, I also know who you made me to be. And Lord, in order for me to continue in who you called me to be, I need to be in a place where my foundation is firm and I can look at the right landmark. If my landmark is Jesus Christ, then I need to know that he is always with me. I need to know that he can seal up the cracks. When I start to slide back into sin, when I feel like something is about to go wrong, I can say, Lord, help me. And he'll say, you know what, let me get some more cement and seal up those cracks. See, some of us, we don't like to go back to God because we know that God is going to tell us something that we don't want to hear. Some of us, we sit there and we're like, well, Lord, if I say that this is going on, and I say that A, B, and C is happening, then Lord, you'll tell me that I have to change. I think the word that goes there is duh. Because if you know that you're doing something that does not please God and you still gonna keep doing it, but then you keep going back to God, Lord, I'm sorry for this, Lord, I'm sorry for that, Lord, I'm sorry for this, Lord, I'm sorry for that. And then you go back and you purposely do it. God said, you know what? I'm gonna turn you over to your own ways and let you fall in your foundation that you built for yourself. Because you feel like you don't want to follow me anymore. You feel like you don't want to do my will anymore because you're too busy focused on what the world wants you to do. Let me tell you something. The world is going to tell you what they want you to do, but God is going to tell you what he wants you to do. Let me give you an example of a man in the Bible who decided to go with what the world wanted. There was a man, there was a king in the Old Testament named Saul. And this man, by everything in his life, he thought that he had all the answers, but he got his answers from everybody in the kingdom. He didn't get his answers from God. He got his answers from everybody in the kingdom. So when they went to go after this particular army and get their stuff back, God had given him instructions to kill everything and don't bring anything back. He said, don't bring anything back. Kill everything. I don't want even a trace of these people in my kingdom. But Saul said, you know what? He started to make an excuse as to why he brought back sheep and goats and cows and livestock and riches and all these different things. He started making excuses because he knew he had some cracks in his foundation. So what Saul did was he said, well, Lord, the people turned against me and they wanted me to do A, B, and C, and the people told me that A, B, and C was going to happen if I didn't do. Well, God said, what did I tell you to do? Have you ever tried to explain to your parents why you didn't do what they told you to do? Mama told you to do A, B, and C, wash the dishes, do the laundry, go cut the yard, take the trash out. But you wanted to do what you wanted to do, so you went outside and you decided to play for a little while. Well, my friends wanted me to come outside and play. Well, my friends wanted me to come hang out for a little while. Well, my friends wanted me to come see what they were doing. Well, Mama says, what did I tell you to do? God said you wouldn't have so many cracks in your life if you just did what I told you to do. But a lot of us, we hear God's voice and we're like, well, Lord, that don't go in my schedule, Lord, because I got to work from this time to this time. So, Lord, that won't work in Monday's schedule. Let's go to Tuesday. Well, I got to do this and this and this. And the thing is, it's funny how we can make time for folks at work who can't bless us with anything. We make time for people who are not important to the will of God. We make time for things in the world that don't make sense in the will of God, that are not a part of God's will, that are not a part of the foundation. We make time for everything else, but we will not make time for God. And then we make excuses for why we made time for things in the world, but we will never turn around and say, Lord, seal up those cracks so that I won't even think about making time. It amazes me how many people make time. And as I see this on Facebook and Instagram and all these different things, it makes me laugh for a little bit, but it also hurts my heart. How so many people can make time to pick out their outfit the night before to go to the club on Saturday. They can make time to call their friends and get together and say, how many of us are going to ride in this car? How many of us are going to ride the party bus? How many of us are going to get the drinks? How many of us are going to get together? It's funny how all these people can make time and follow the time schedule. What time are we going to get there for the free before 11? What time are we going to get there before the dancers start dancing and the concert starts? What time are we going to meet up? You can make time to do that, but when it's time to see the landmark of Christ, when it's time to go to the church house, we show up an hour late and then expect everybody to be in the room when we get there. We expect everybody to just make room for us to sit down. We come in with a hangover, head hurting like crazy, but then we want to sit there and say, you know what, I was late because. You can't judge me because, let me tell you something, I'm not judging you. I'm telling you that them cracks in your life need to be sealed up because you're not living right. I'm trying to help you stay out of hell, baby, because when that foundation falls through, you're not going to fall through to a cushion. You're not going to fall through to dirt. You're going to fall all the way through. You're going to fall through to a place that you don't want to be in where you burn forever. That's why I'm trying to tell you to seal up those cracks and get God in your life to help you get back to where you need to be. Oh, so many people don't want them cracks sealed up. They're like, I'm so used to this. This feels good to me. This is cool. This is fine. I'm comfortable right here. Let me tell you something. Has anybody ever stepped in a pothole before? Have you ever stepped in a pothole before? And I'm not talking about no little bitty pothole. I'm talking about one of them potholes where your ankle get twisted while you in there. Yeah, that don't feel too good. That's what happens when the foundation cracks in your life and you get comfortable letting it crack. When you step down and say, I'm going to step into this foundation, your leg gets caught, your spiritual legs get caught, and that ankle gets twisted. Now you have to go see what's wrong with you. You have to sit down for a while. Don't you realize that God lets that happen sometimes when we think that our foundation has been built right? We sit there and we say, you know what, God, I got it all together. Lord, I got all the answers. And God says, you know what? I'm going to be quiet and let you get in this situation for a little while. I'm going to allow this to happen to see how smart you think you are. See, the funny thing is we think we're so smart when it comes to building on God's foundation. God said, no, wait till I tell you to build this and then go forth with it. But we say, you know what? I'm going to do it my way. Okay, let me help you out. Proverbs 14:12 says, there is a way that seems right unto a man, but the way thereof and the ways thereof is destruction. There is one way that seems right to man, but it's the worldly way. There is one way that seems right to everybody else, but it's the world's way. It's the world's way of thinking, the world's way of living, the world's way of building. Don't you realize a lot of people, the Bible says the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. So while the wicked are sitting here using our tax dollars, using our work dollars, using everything that we've worked for, and we're complaining about it, baby, don't complain about it, because the more that they're building for us to just go ahead and take over. But what we got to do is we got to get our foundation sealed so that when we walk into our takeover, we don't step into a pothole. We're stepping on a solid foundation where the landmark has already been built, and all we have to do is look at the landmark to remember. Thank God for his word on tonight. I'm through. I want to thank God for each and every one of you.
Great
Amen.
preaching,
I'm
preacher.
gonna put it just like this.
Great preaching.
Amen.
I saw
Fill
the
up
look
the
on Deacon
crowd.
Smith's face.
Amen. Amen.
I tried not to laugh. I saw the look
Amen.
on Deacon
Amen.
Smith's face.